Okay, hit line.
You got it, guys.
Are you sure it's going already?
Welcome to the first episode of Mark Madness, guys.
That's Cal, Ashton, I'm Paul, and that's Matt.
Let's go, guys.
The layout. No, shoot. The topics we're going to discuss today is Jesus in the field with the disciples, the signs of the end.
And then
We're
we'll
going to have the
hit.
Bible verse of the day, and then Mark Madness.
Ooh.
Ooh. Yeah, no, I'll kick us off. So,
Jesus in the field. with the
Jesus.
disciples.
We have Jesus in the field with the disciples on the Sabbath, and they're just roaming around in there. They're kind of hungry. So they're grabbing some corn, I think. Yeah, no, they're grabbing some corn. The Pharisees, like, no, stop, because it's the Sabbath. You can't do stuff on the Sabbath.
Oh.
And Jesus like quotes a story from David, and then says the Sabbath was made for man, and not the man for the Sabbath. So he was kind of just telling them to like loosen up a bit on the rules.
Because exceptions can be made.
Yeah,
If it's
exceptions
like
can be
extreme
made.
Like,
circumstances.
like
hunger
the story
and,
about
like,
David, he was like
different
he was
rules.
starving, and then he
It was
comes into
extreme
the-
hunger.
yeah, and he comes into the temple, and then one of the Pharisees or something gives him food.
Yeah.
It was exceptions,
I feel you.
Should we go to the sign to the end?
No, I don't think so. And then the quote you said earlier, the Sabbath was made for the man.
Mhm.
And that just is the intent of the Sabbath, to benefit Israel and not be as strict on everybody else.
That's it right there. Yeah.
Some good memory.
Sign to the end now? Yep.
That's
Okay.
signs of the end.
So sign to the end. Jesus and 4 of his disciples were on the mountain of the Olives, and they were all worried about like, oh, when are we gonna know when the world's gonna end? And he's like, well, there's gonna be some signs, like hurricanes, earthquakes, and famines, but that's all just like tricks. Those aren't actually me, and you'll know when it's me because I'll make it known to you. But then they still were a little unsure. But then he soothed their nerves, I can assure you.
How do you like think he's gonna make it known? Like,
It's a pretty good question. Probably just like, definitely not like an intercom over to the whole world.
I mean, obviously no.
Sorry.
One of
I'm
the
sorry,
signs
Gal,
was
sorry.
the Mountain of Olives.
Oh yeah, Mountain of the Olives.
Andrew
that's-
asked about the signs of it coming to an end. And then you already mentioned it.
Yeah,
He said there will be warnings, but don't be alarmed.
the Mountain of the Olives was also where Israel, like, got the victory over their first victory ever. And the Mountain of the Olives is where they're talking about the end. Ashton, do you think that's a coincidence?
Hell no.
Whoa.
Sorry, guys. What?
No, Ashton, you're good. You're good. Ashton, you're good.
That's all about the sign.
I think, were the signs referring to the destruction of the temple at all?
Yeah, I think they were. I think that's what they're pointing to.
But
Mostly.
we don't know that for sure,
Yeah,
do we?
it's just speculation, but it's
From, like, just people who research and stuff?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's the scoop about the signs at the end.
Thanks for the scoop, Cal.
Of course.
Now, is it time to head into Mark Madness?
so.
I think it
Already?
is.
What?
Okay, guys. Okay. So we have.
This is my part.
Yeah.
So,
Can you explain to them what Mark Madness
so
is?
Mark Madness, I chose eight people from Mark. He chose 8 people from Mark. We both have our own sides of the bracket, and we're gonna see who makes it to the championship. Do you want to go through the seeds first? Just so like at the 1 seeds on his side of the bracket, we obviously got
Jesus. We have
Easily.
Jesus. And then at the 8 seed,
Easily.
playing Jesus first game, we have Satan. Who is this guy? Yeah. 4 seed, we have Matthew, the goat. 5 seed, we have Joseph of Arimathea. The guy that like takes the body,
Who's
Jesus'
that guy?
body. We'll get to that.
that's next episode.
Yeah,
Thank you.
okay. So, and then at the 3 seed, playing the 6 seed, we have Andrew against Bartimaeus, the blind beggar. I'm telling you, underrated.
You think
Say
that would
that
be
to
I'm going
Are we
underrated
calling
on that,
upset
guys.
alert right there?
We'll see what happens. And at the 7 seed, we got Judas
Versus,
versus John at the 2 seed.
and then
I think. Wait, can I get a word in? I think Judas is pretty underrated. I think.
Okay,
I
we
thought
get
you
out,
could-
get
okay.
out, get
Thank
out.
you, thank you.
We're going to the next side.
And on the side of the bracket that we will be choosing today, at the 1 seed, we got Mary, the mother of Jesus.
Oh.
And
We love
versus
her.
the 8 seed Pontius Pilate.
Yuck. Disgusting.
Boo.
Pontius Pilate is a good guy. I don't
No,
know.
what?
That's like saying
What?
Satan's a good guy. You can't be saying that.
John the Baptist at the 4 versus Mary Magdalene at the 5. Either of those could have gone either way, 4 or 5
That's a
seeds.
tough
That'll be an
matchup.
interesting
Tough
game
matchup.
going. And we got Peter at the 3, Herod at the 6, and then David 7. And sneaking into the 2 spot, we got Abraham.
I think David's
Abraham
awfully
appears in
awfully
the
low.
Gospel of Mark.
Arguably, he could be higher on that list.
You think he could overtake?
I think he could go.
Mary
Ma-
Magdalene?
I don't know if he can overtake Abraham, but I think he could
Not Abraham.
at least take
Abraham's
like a
at the
5 seed.
2.
I think he could.
So you're
be a
taking him,
5
you're
seed
taking him
instead.
over Herod then?
I am taking him over
Paul, I have a
Herod.
question for you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Are these characters just based off people who like show up in Mark?
That are in that
They are
present in Mark.
in the
So
gospel.
is Abraham present in Mark?
Sometime, yeah.
Really?
He's mentioned. He's in there.
Okay.
Don't doubt. Don't
Okay.
doubt.
Yeah.
All right. So
So
let's
we'll
get to the
have
first
you guys
matchup.
read
You want to give us a
Mark?
little rundown on
Yeah, I'll give us a quick rundown. So
Mary and Pontius
we've
Pilate?
obviously got Mary, the mother of Jesus. Everyone knows who that is. I think no explanation needed there. And then
The
Pontius
goat.
Pilate, sadly, no explanation needed there. I mean, he necessarily didn't want Jesus to die, but he's the one that ultimately condemned him. And
He had no choice.
because
He-
everyone,
he, like,
did have a
everyone was
choice.
voting.
He had a choice.
He got forgiven by God, though.
Everyone
Like,
was
by
voting.
Jesus.
He probably would have died if he didn't make Jesus die. Probably
Yeah. So it was a little selfish choice we could see there.
Yeah.
And I think for
I don't know
that
how selfish if
and I
he's
thi-
gonna die,
And I think
but-
for that reason we're taking Mary Mother
mean,
to
of
escape in the
course you
first
have to.
round.
Yeah,
Just
you
a
have to.
blowout, like
No brainer.
40-point game right there.
No brainer.
Okay, so now we got John the Baptist versus Mary
So
Magdalene.
John the Baptist and versus Mary Magdalene. I mean, Mary Magdalene was Jesus drove out 7 demons, but I think at the end of the day we just
You also can't like deny the fact
I don't
that
know.
she was-
Mary
she was-
plays
she
a
was-
good defense.
she was a-
Mary Magdalene plays a good
she
defense.
was a close follower of Jesus. She was like one of his best friends.
Yeah.
but John the Baptist's cousin baptized Jesus.
Yeah.
Baptized Jesus.
I'm telling you, they've been working on the pick and roll up there. it's insane.
So I think John the
Baptist
Baptist moves on. Is
John
that,
the
is that
Baptist does
unanimous?
move on.
Yeah, true.
I guess.
Honestly.
Guess.
Then we got 3 seed Peter.
Ooh.
Peter the disciple. Let me get that
Okay.
straight. Peter.
He has 2 names, too.
Simon
Peter.
Simon was the OG name, yes. Versus Herod. He was
like King Herod,
He,
the
like,
one who
killed all the babies.
Herod founded the city of Tiberias by the lake of Gennesaret.
That's
Ooh.
just
Who
Well,
is
that's-
this guy?
Is that not? That's pretty. He founded a city. I mean, no. I'm taking Peter too, but he founded the city. So raise your
I
hand
don't
if
think
you
that
want
really
Peter.
means anything.
Peter.
Oh, Peter's
Okay,
good.
stop
Unanimous.
trying. Yeah, yeah,
Unanimous.
yeah.
And then
There's not
We
even
we
a
have
guy.
David versus Abraham, guys.
Ooh,
This
might
is-
be the
I mean,
matchup.
This is kind of
a
crazy.
close- this is
This
close.
David,
Wait,
David's
what
like his
seeds? What are the seeds?
grandson
7
or something.
David, 2 Abraham.
This is gonna be a
Ooh,
surprisingly
okay.
closer matchup than you might have thought. I'd say. David.
Honestly.
I think you look at David and you just see. I think you focus on his murder, adultery, and all that stuff. When you look at Abraham,
He didn't really-
first covenant Abraham, listened to God, was gonna sacrifice his son to honor God.
He started the journey to the promised land. Like
Yes,
See, if Abraham was never there,
I-
we wouldn't have a David.
You guys are saying like you guys are picking upset. Not even close. This is a blowout Abraham.
I don't know.
Let me get a word in. Okay, so you mentioned Abraham's covenant. David also got a covenant.
But
with
whose
God.
covenant was first and who upheld it better?
Who did it better?
You're
Who
right.
did it
Who
better?
withheld it better?
I think it comes down.
So
to
I
like
think Abraham.
but I think it comes down to like a game winner. Isaac hits it.
No, I
from
think
the
it's a
first-
blow. I think it's a 40-point
I don't
blowout.
think it's a blowout at all. I think
Uh,
it's a
no, I don't know about a
surprisingly
40
close
point.
I'm gonna go.
I think it's
It
like
was
an
neck,
or.
and- neck,
I think it's
and,
like
a neck and neck.
Oregon Creighton game
Neck,
until
no,
the end.
Neck and
until the
neck.
end.
Abraham pulls
I think-
away with free throws at the end.
I'd say,
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that.
I like that.
That's good. That's good.
I guess.
Double overtime.
I think single.
Single
I
overtime.
think Abraham's got it in the bag after with free throws.
Yeah.
So now the matchups for the next game.
we got,
for two pods from now.
We got number 1 seed Mary versus number 4 John the Baptist. What do we think about that? Can anyone give us a little?
It's gonna be close.
That's-
That'll be a
that-
close game.
that'll be a
really
nice
good.
game.
Now
That'll
don't
be
tease too much.
crazy
guys.
game.
Yeah, you're right.
That'll be crazy. And we got number 3 Peter versus number 2 Abraham.
I'm just really excited for this other side of the bracket.
Dude,
next
no
podcast.
upsets yet. No upsets yet.
I'm thinking we could see some next episode. Just stay tuned, everybody.
I'm sensing it.
And then.
Okay, now do we want to? Now let's move on to the
Bible
biblical
verses.
verse of the day.
Hit me right now,
our
Cal.
Bible verse
What is the
today, it comes
biblical
from
verse?
Romans.
Cal, get
chapter
closer to
8.
the microphone. Get closer.
Romans chapter 8, verse 28, and it says, "We know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose." That's a powerful verse right there.
That is a powerful verse.
I think mind if I say something?
Go ahead.
I think that's true because if you honor God, if you follow the 10 Commandments, you do what is right and is good in the eyes of Him.
You live for
He will
God.
reward you, and you will live in eternity with God.
Yeah, it's
I think that's where I'm coming
it's
from.
not saying that you have to you don't have to be like super close with God because God always was with everybody. But if you live
A good
according
life.
to His plan,
Yeah.
He's
Humans aren't
basically gonna
perfect.
Be your sidekick.
Humans aren't perfect.
Well,
Yeah.
he knows
Just-
that,
Yeah.
and just reflect, go to reconciliation.
Yep.
Humans are made in the image of God, though. Like,
Go to church.
Do what you gotta do. Do what you
Yeah,
gotta do.
but our sins tarnish that.
Yeah.
So
Adam and Eve did that, though.
Tarnish. You've been doing your baptism.
yeah, they did.
They made up for it though.
But baptism did.
Okay.
Well,
yeah,
that they
you're right.
did. They did create original sin. Do we want to go off that for a second?
I mean, original sin's pretty bad, guys.
I mean, Mary, and then can we go back to the Mark Madness?
Go ahead.
The 2 1 seeds are not born with original sin, Mary and Jesus.
Wow.
Zero.
Is that a coincidence?
0.
Did you do that on purpose?
I mean, you can't put Jesus not in the 1 seed,
That's true.
and then Mary, the mother. I mean, that's just. People like, I feel like they just look at her like, they focus on Jesus, but we realize how much we pray to Mary and how much Mary's a gateway.
I mean, she has
Two
She's a
more.
full prayer.
Honestly, we
Yeah,
could put
she's-
Abraham
all
at the
other
1
countries,
seed.
she's
He doesn't have a prayer, but
highly
he's pretty dang good.
You're
He's
saying
pretty dang
Abraham's
iconic.
going over Mother Mary?
Dude, I'm just throwing stuff out there.
I think you're teasing a little too much.
Ooh.
Gotta keep it secretive for next episode.
All right.
I'm not teasing.
Okay.
I'm not teasing anything.
And who wants to tease for the next episode?
Ashton.
Wait, what? Where are we talking about?
The tease
Oh.
for the next was a big dog.
Tease for the next episode. We're gonna be talking about the way of Christ, the transfiguration.
Jesus-
That's gonna be a good one.
With the disciples entering the city
Yes,
when he first entered.
that will be good.
And then we'll hit Mark Madness again, and Cal will dish out another biblical verse of the day.
I'm excited for that one.
Me too.
So,
You gotta bring
Be a
the
good one.
heat.
It's gonna be a good one.
so
I can feel it in my bones.
oh yeah, let's pull everything in together.
So Jesus is with his disciples in both the stories, but the Pharisees in one story were trying to make Jesus look bad, and the disciples were worrying too much about the end. But Jesus used his teachings to prove them wrong and soothe the disciples' worries, and he proves the Pharisees wrong. So Jesus just overpowers both of them in the end.
Nice job, everybody. Thank
Yeah,
you.
good
That'll
stuff.
be it. Can't wait
Alright.
to see you guys next week.
And thank you guys. Have a good one.
Oh, outro song.
Oh,
Outro.
forgot the outro.
Is it still going, Cal?